In Daniel chapter 2, Daniel is explaining a dream to the king that he's had that explains world history. And he's partway through the dream in verse 39 when he says, "But after you shall arise another kingdom inferior to yours." It's always hard for people living in a successful world empire to imagine that one day things might be different. For example, in spite of all the apocalyptic novels and movies, modern civilization has trouble picturing a world any different than the one we live in right now. As far as we're concerned, Western European culture will always prevail. And with minor differences, we think the world we know is going to be around for a long, long time. But you know, the ancient Babylonians thought that too. In fact, on the night that Babylon actually fell, the king was inside the city refusing to notice the Persian hordes at his gate. Instead of getting ready for battle, he threw a party because he wanted the citizens of Babylon to rest assured that nothing could happen. But something did happen. The Medo-Persian army under Cyrus the general drained the Euphrates River and marched on the dry riverbed right under the walls into the heart of the city. He discovered that the gates and the walls that lined the riverbed inside the city had been left wide open. And that night, the overconfident Babylonian Empire came to an end. Now, here's what's remarkable about it. It was all predicted in advance. Not only did Daniel tell Nebuchadnezzar that another inferior kingdom was going to take his place, but the prophet Isaiah predicted the event with astounding detail over in Isaiah chapter 44 and spilling over into Isaiah 45. Listen to what it says in Isaiah 44 beginning in verse 27. "Who says to the deep, be dry, and I will dry up your rivers. Who says of Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and he shall perform all my pleasure. Even saying to Jerusalem, you shall be built, and to the temple your foundation shall be laid. Thus says the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have held to subdue nations before him and loose the armor of kings, to open before him the double doors, so that the gates will not be shut." Now here's the astounding thing. That passage was written more than a century before Cyrus was ever born, and it gets it absolutely right, from the drying up of the Euphrates to the open gates along that riverbed in Babylon. It successfully predicted that the Persian conqueror would let the Israelites go back to Jerusalem and rebuild it. It even gets his name right, which is an impressive accomplishment by anybody's standards. You know, it wouldn't be that hard to predict that one empire might fall and another would rise. I mean, even a first-year history student could make an educated guess and get that right. But you know, the passage in Daniel is different. It predicts successfully exactly 4 great empires in the ancient Near East. And it gets it right. Not 5, not 3, but 4 empires. And then as you read through the pages of the Bible, you discover that these aren't vague predictions, like the sort you get from psychics or fortune cookies. The details in these prophecies are right on the money. And it goes to prove why there's one book that continues to demand our attention after all these years. The Bible's not like other books. It pulls back the curtains of the universe and it gives us a peek into the inner workings, which is why investing your time in studying it is always going to be a better way to live.